Guys, did you know that in 2 weeks, over 5 million Americans who have federal student loans will be getting their paychecks garnished? Welcome to Credit Talks, guys. In today's video Q&A, we are going to give you a quick breakdown of what's going on May the 5th with this federal student loans and then garnishing 15% out of your check. And we're going to show you how to stop this if your loans are currently in default standing. So let's get into it.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm Credit Coach Q, and this is my favorite co-host, Miss Tina Talks Credit. Welcome back to the channel, Miss Tina. Now, guys, in today's video, we have an interesting one to say the least. Donald Trump, as you may know, has been changing the entire landscape of the government, and now he is tackling student loan and looking to restart the student loans on May the 5th. So today we're going to talk about how you can actually combat this, fix this, and how this can affect you and your family as well. So I want to share a screen with you guys to show you guys exactly what they're looking to do. I'm going to show you a layout on how you can fix it or get into some type of repayment program or a loan forgiveness program so you won't be having your wage garnishments, because the economy is too bad for that, to say the least. Now, this is from the U.S. Department of Education. The U.S. Department of Education to begin federal student loan collections, other actions to help borrowers get back into repayment. Now, the U.S. Department of Education today announced its Office of Federal Student Aid will resume collections of its defaulted federal student loan portfolio on Monday, May 5th. The department has not collected on defaulted loans since March 2020. Resuming collections protects taxpayers from shouldering the cost of federal student loans that borrowers willingly overtook to finance their post-secondary education. This initiative will be paired with a comprehensive communication and outreach campaign to ensure borrowers understand how to return to repayment and get out of default. Now, there's so many people in default that this can affect millions, tens of millions of individuals if they do not get a foothold on it early. Now, while Congress mandated the student and parent borrowers begin to repay their student loans on October 23, the Biden-Harris administration refused to lift the collections pause and kept the borrowers in a confusing limbo. This previous administration failed to process applications for borrowers who applied for income-driven repayment and continue to push misguided on-ramps and illegal loan forgiveness schemes to win points with borrowers in mass, risking delinquency and defaulted rates. Now, today, 4.27 million borrowers owe more than $1.6 trillion in student debt. More than 5 million borrowers has not made a monthly payment in over 160 days and sit in default. Many or more than 7 years, and 4 million borrowers are in the late stage delinquency, 91 to 180 days. As a result, there could be almost 10 million borrowers in default in a few months. When this happened, almost 25% of federal student loan portfolio would be in default. Only 38% of borrowers are in a repayment and current on their student loans. So now, I don't know where you will fall into this category watching this video, but if you have went to school or got any type of secondary education where you actually took out federal student loans, you want to watch this video, because now we're going to talk about how could you actually caveat this and not be in the realm of getting your wage garnished, because this can actually take a foothold on your currently monthly lifestyle by garnishing your wages, because they come to get the money. All right, so now I want to share another screen. What you say, Miss Tim?
Coach, just saying, you said they come to get the money. They come to get the money for sure. Oh, God.
Yes, they are. And Donald Trump not paying. Like, this is a major bill on the administration. $1.6 trillion is not Mickey Mouse pile of money. This is like a lot of money that's in default, and you are going to want to know how to, get in front of this. All right, so this is the point of the video. Now, I definitely want to share this screen that Miss Tina created for you guys. So if you are looking to get any type of help from this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, guys. Leave a comment and let us know your opinion on this move that Donald Trump and his administration is doing, because this is interesting and we always love to hear you guys' comments, because it's always interesting to see exactly how the people respond and feel about these type of scenarios. Okay, so this is a document that Miss Tina created for you guys. Leave a comment section, say thank you, Miss Tina, for the document. How to stop student loans garnishment before May 5th? Call the collection agency or servicer immediately. Get the name of the agency garnishing your check. Ask how the garnishment is happening, how much is owed, what is your options are to pay to stop or postpone the garnishment. Now, once you go into garnishment, it's very hard to actually stop the garnishment. Like I said, you want to get a foothold and get in front of this immediately. You can find this information by calling the default resolution group at the U.S. Department of Education, which is 1-800-621-3115. Logging into the studentaid.gov to see your loan status. Now, step 2 will be request a hearing or objection to garnishment. If you receive a 30-day notice before garnishment and you didn't respond in time, you may still request a hearing. Financial hardship, loan is not yours. You made payments, loans are already in rehab. Use the request for hearing form, download form, submit to, you can fax it, you can do it by mail, U.S. Department of Education, blah, blah, blah. Now, step 3 is to start a loan for rehabilitation agreement. This can stop garnishment after 5 consecutive payments, but in some cases, the first payment can pause garnishment immediately if agreed upon before the garnishment starts. So I can't stress it enough on, guys, if you know that you're in default and you know that you are working a job and you live in paycheck to paycheck, you can't afford to get your wages garnished. So you need to get in front of this and make sure that is not the case. Ask for the rehabilitation agreement where you pay 9 affordable payments over 10 months. First payment is based on 15% of discretionary income. It can be as low as $5 to $25 if you show hardship. Now, step 5 will be apply for consolidation. If your loan is in default, consolidate it into a new direct consolidated loan. Choose an income-driven repayment plan. This will bring the loan out of default and stop garnishment. Now, Ms. Tina, if you want to chime in on this, you can definitely do that.
So, yeah, 100%. So there's over 5 million Americans who actually have student loans in default right now. So just understand, guys, that there's no statute of limitation on federal student loans. So even if it was 25 years ago when you owed, they still can come back and garnish your pay for this. So this is serious. And 15% of your paycheck is a lot of money. I mean, that's like that's an electric bill or a grocery bill for the week. It could be even more for some people. So yeah, and that's every time you get paid, not once a month, so that's a lot.
Yeah, man. So basically it's like a child support payment or even more. Like, it really is a lot of money that they're looking to get paid back. Okay, so apply here. Important, you will need to consolidate before May 5th to avoid the garnishment hitting your paycheck. File a financial hardship claim. If you can't afford the garnishment, file a hardship objection even if the garnishment started. Document to provide recent pay stub, monthly bills, child support, rent, etc. They may reduce or pause garnishment temporarily. Number 6, contact your payroll department. Let them know a garnishment order is incoming. Ask if you received it yet. Request a hold if you are actively working with the Department of Education. Do not wait. The garnishment will happen unless you act quickly. You need to either file a hearing request, start rehabilitation, or how to apply for an IDR plan. You can apply for the IDR plan through the following methods: online application, paper application, and you can follow these links. These links will be in the description below, guys. And this is serious to say the least. We don't usually make videos like this, but because this is finance, and I feel like this can help or hurt a lot of people depending on how fast you move. Ms. Tina, I'm going to give you the floor so you can, add your context to it and give them some more sauce to this problem.
Okay, so real quick, I want to talk about the IDR, and that's the income-driven repayment program or request, right? So it's really simple to go online to do this, and I'll show you in just a second, but you can also mail the form out, which I wouldn't do. But I do want to let you guys know that your student loans, if they're not in default now, you have to make sure that if you have your student loans in deferment, that you stay on top of that deferment. Like if you need to reapply every 6 months for your deferment so that your loans can stay in deferment, stay safe, guys. I always say reapply for your deferment every 5 months instead of waiting right until it's time for your deferment to be up, and then you're kind of because I get a lot of calls from people, where they're like, my student loans are about to be out of deferment, what do I do? I'm like, go online and reapply. die, So you don't want to come out of deferment if you are in deferment and you can't pay like your student loan bills, because once your student loan is late 270 days, which is about 9 months, then you go into collections. And then here we go with the garnishing of your pay and stuff like that. So like definitely do not ignore that. Be on top of that. And like another thing, like I have a few clients who have student loans of over $100,000, and we were able to negotiate for them. They only pay like $2 a month, and I'm not even kidding. They may have like 15 different student loans, and they pay $2 a month on them.
Wow.
We did an income-driven payment list, and so I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to share my screen, show you.
And while you're doing that, I want to add, like, guys, $2 a month is not gonna hurt anyone, and that just shows the power of getting in front of things. Like once you get in front of this, you will have an opportunity to write the narrative and control the narrative versus actually putting yourself in a position where they're taking 15% of your check. You can get in front of it, get an IDR repayment plan, and actually potentially pay as little as $2 a month, and that can be transformative on not having your student loans in default and actually paying them back, but doing it on your own version of income that you can afford. So guys, that is very powerful. But yeah, go ahead, Ms. Tina.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to talk to your credit. I don't care how scared or nervous you are. It's always good to talk to them because they want the money. They don't want to necessarily have to go through certain measures to get the money. So if you can keep it from going there, I recommend keep it from going there. Now, let me see how I can share my screen. I'm just going to show you guys really quick how to go online and apply for the income-driven repayment. Okay, guys. Show you real quick. You can go and actually just student.gov and do this yourself. So real quick, it's really easy. I'm just going to click through real quick and just show you how easy and how fast you can actually do this. Just click continue. You're going to read all this or not. You just scroll down and click that. And so if you're logged into the account, your account information is going to come up. So you're not going to need to put anything there. And it's going to tell you all of your loans that are eligible for this repayment program. And if it's $500 a month, you can also view your loans here and everything else. Now, I will tell you this about the monthly payment. If the monthly payment is something that you cannot afford, do not complete or submit everything. Make a phone call to the student loan office, and then we'll leave the number here. I think it's on the document anyway. So call them and negotiate another payment. They will do it. I'm telling, don't take no for an answer. They will negotiate a payment that you can actually afford, because you don't want to just agree to pay $1,000 a month when you know it's going to be a struggle, because then that's going to put you in a bind and put you in breach of the agreement, and then you won't be able to get the agreement back, once you breach it. So I would make a phone call if the amount is not what you can pay, and just a quick click through and you're done. It's really simple and easy. So I hope this video helped you guys to not get in trouble with the student loan thing. If you do and you already have like negative student loans that are charged off on your account, of course, I always recommend Metro 2 when disputing closed student loan account. Metro 2 is very more effective than anything that I've seen. I like to combine Metro 2 with FCRA. Y'all know that though. But those Metro 2 fields and challenging them directly to the student loan office, not the credit bureaus, it's most effective.
Man, so guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. If you found any of this information helpful, please leave a comment. And if you want us to show you the method that she was just talking about on how to get it removed from your credit report, type it in the comment section, remove student loans. If you put remove student loans, I will send you a link, or no, what we're going to do is we're going to, if we get a certain amount of comments, we will make a video to show you exactly how to get student loans removed. We have gotten hundreds of student loans removed from different credit reports. If you need any type of credit repair when it comes to anything other than student loans collection, student loans, wage garnishments, judgments, hospital bills, anything on your credit report, go to mycreditapproved.com and follow the steps within the software that has literally hundreds of prompts to show you, tutorials to show you exactly how to remove everything. If you want someone to do it for you, if you don't have time to go through a software and you don't have time, you have the extra money, hire Miss Tina and her staff. She is one of the best in the country when it comes to credit removal. I mean, she's literally helped me. She's literally she is the go-to for credit removal. Also, shout out to Miss Tina for her new course that that is live. She has a live course right now that is comprised of all of her wealth of knowledge over the 20 plus years in the credit industry, guys. It is so undervalued, and you guys need to jump on board before she make the price higher, because whatever the price is, I think it's a couple $100 or some like whatever, but it is not. This course is worth thousands of dollars. I've seen courses that have cost $2,500 that is nowhere near in the realm of her course or her school. So guys, shout out to her and look out for that as well, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Did you have anything else before we go out, Miss Tina?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, guys. Until next time, take care of your credit and take care of yourself. Credit Coach Q out. Peace.